We initially did our interview, and after that, Yana ended up contacting you, and I intercepted the interview.
Okay.
And when I intercepted the interview, you was upset about that, and so I became your mortal enemy for some reason.
That is not true, Marcus. What I was upset about is the fact that I went live, and up until 2 minutes, I was talking to Yana, and she was supposed to go live. I had already scheduled my live based on that, and now I'm faced with a live audience with nothing to talk about. That's rude and it's unprofessional. Any talk show host, if you'd have done that to Steve Wilkos, it would have been rude, and he wouldn't have had a nice feeling about that.
Well, and what happened that night? Let me say this. What happened that night, I can remember, you was about to go live and she didn't show up. So you said, okay, I do emails to show receipts of what I already titled in the video.
Right. As anyone with a platform that had that type of story had announced, they would have done the same thing.
It's not so much the displaying of the receipts or whatever. It's the added kind of tone and vitriol that you kind of that you narrate with when you talk about me. Let's just be honest. You call me the scum of the earth. You call me straight up bitch, right? Like with real bass in your voice at the end. Like, come on, like
Marcus, you showed explicit pictures of me. Do you hold any accountability for that? Do you think you're going to be a pillar of the community doing things like that?
I apologize for showing the guy your pictures. I will say this. You know what? I'm not even going to go into that. Like, that's your business with that guy. I don't have anything to do with that.
No, this is between me and you. What happened with me and you? I didn't send you those pictures. If people send me stuff about you all the time. I don't put it out there, Marcus, because if it doesn't happen on YouTube, I'm not talking about it. You showed it to pull up and chat. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah, but that's not me putting it out there.
All right, Marcus.
Me showing, hey, this is the lady that's kind of, on me or whatever all the time.
So why is...
Not, and again, I apologize for that. So can we...
Okay, I accept your apology. I have no issue with you. Personally, I have an issue with you asking those triggering questions, and that's what the community has an issue with. You don't go anywhere with those questions. Is that just to draw people to your platform? Because it's obviously not helping anybody.
Okay, well, that's what you say. That's your opinion. But I have evidence to the contrary. So I have tons of emails, tons of DMs, and people that reach out to me that tell me exactly how it helps them. Tell me how it helps them to understand their family member or a person that they know that may have been through similar situations. They tell me how they have daughters, or they have a niece that they had to adopt, and now they know what to look for. They kind of have a clue on how these things come about, how these things happen. And thank you, and don't stop asking those questions. I don't care what the haters say, all that stuff.
Okay, so what about, that's fair, that's fair.
I'm sorry, can I finish real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you have a limited perspective, okay? And so I get the fact that you may feel a way about it, and a couple of, a bunch of folks may feel a way about it, but it's not the majority. It's not. And the truth is that, the numbers never lie. At the end of the day, if people don't enjoy those stories, they can just tap out. It's really that simple on YouTube. You don't have to watch.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Marcus. What about when you have a situation like I literally specifically saw a lady said that after you asked her those questions, she relapsed. What about those stories? What do you do for those people?
So, listen, I know that she said that, and obviously I'm the one that put that on my platform. Okay, so I could have just as easily not put that on my platform. Okay, I put it on there for a reason. It's just to show that it may happen sometimes. Okay, but if it helps more than it hurts, well, listen, nobody's perfect, nothing's perfect, and frankly, to be honest with you, right? Let's just be honest. We're talking about folks who operate in a culture of victimization and, kind of scapegoating, the blame game, that type of stuff. So yeah, it's easy for her to say, oh, well, that's what re-triggered me or whatever. But you know, that's what she says. So.
All right. So you say you didn't have sex with Monique. Did you have sex with Lolly?
So about who I had sex with, I'm not going to speak to that right now.
Okay. I got it. I respect that. I'll move on. Have you had any childhood trauma, sexual trauma?
No, I've never had any childhood sexual trauma. I did start sex. I don't say I started it. I started it early, but you know, I started it in kind of a funny way. And you know, I've discussed that ad nauseum with my therapist. As far as you know, kind of it was actually a young lady that was a year younger than me, and she was kind of the more aggressive one or whatever. But the long and short of it is that you know. I don't really consider that trauma or anything like that. So, no, I don't think I've been through any childhood trauma or anything like that.
Do you think you are a sex addict?
I know that Yana said that.
Put it on the air.
I reject that notion.
Yes.
I honestly
put
do.
it on the air, yes.
I will say this.
You see that pulling on the ear, y'all?
I have a healthy sex appetite. But what is the line between that and a sex addict? Can you explain it to me?
Well, by clinical definition, I cannot explain to you what a sex addict is, but I can tell you the general sense of what we feel that a sex addict is someone that has an appetite for sex that's pretty much insatiable. So you're never satisfied. Like it doesn't matter if you get someone like Yana, that's beautiful, like you said, that is non-problematic, like you said, pretty much meeting
Yana,
you know all of your
Donna.
psychological, physical needs. You still have such an appetite that you want to go out and continue to have sex with other people. And Marcus, why are you not using protection?
Okay, so I'll answer backwards, right? So I use protection sometimes I don't. All right, I need to do better. I'll admit, okay?
Not again.
And that's definitely something that I need to not do. So I acknowledge that. Full stop. Okay. Anything else you want to say about that?
I mean, that's reckless. Like, it's dangerous. It's reckless. You have teenagers. You know they watch the channel. They see the channel. You're out in the community. You have a responsibility. You have a large platform. People look up to you, and believe it or not, a lot of people on social media, with all of us, small channels, big channels, they look to the channel holder as the all-knowing, all being. So a lot of people are looking at that irresponsibility and thinking that, oh, it's okay. Like Josias, he told you that he wasn't using protection and it was kind of laughed about.
I agree. I need to do better. I mean, there's no argument there.
All right.
But does that not give credence to that you're a sex addict, though, Marcus? Like, because it's like you met this woman within a week's time and you're like, oh, no.
I mean, no, I would just say that I have a high risk tolerance. I don't think that makes me, hold on, let me see this. I don't think that makes me a sex addict. You know, I would think a sex addict has to have sex all the time, right? That's not me. I have a healthy sex appetite, but I don't have to have sex all the time. I go sometimes a week or two or whatever without sex.
It's rare.
And so
you still enter.
You know, I mean, hey, listen, I'm just.
It's Atlanta though, Marcus, and it's like
it's Atlanta.
Atlanta, and I know I looked at this how much herpes is out there.
I get it. We can skip all the preaching. I agree with you.
I'm not preaching to you.
Right, well, I mean, that's kind of what you guys are doing, because I get it. I agree. And again, there's no argument. So it's not like you're not going to get any pushback from me on there.
All right, cool. All right, cool. Let's go to Lolly. Did you have sex with Lolly?
Right. So, I mean, I thought I just answered. You
didn't answer if you had sex with Lolly. Also, you don't want to answer.
I'm not going to go into who I've had sex with. So,
okay.
All right. Those questions I'm not going to necessarily go into.
All right, fair enough. So let me ask you, what happened between you and Sunny to make her come out with these allegations?
I'm completely shell-shocked. I'm still in shock. I never thought that anything like this would ever happen to me. You see things like this happen to people, and Like, you just never think that it would ever happen to you. We had sex. It was consensual every single time. There's no gray area there. What I was saying about her shorts is logistically, she wears shorts over her panties. And the shorts are slightly elastic, but they're not they're not fully elastic. So it requires quite a bit of work to get the shorts off. Like, she has to kind of lean over to the side a little bit, and you have to like do it kind of one nub at a time, basically. And so, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it's completely crazy and insane that she would say this. Like, yeah, like, she did say the thing about being on her period. And yeah, I said, well, I ain't scared of that, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. She didn't say it like, stop, I'm on my period. She said it like, just, how a girl may warn you, like, hey, I'm on my period, that type of deal. And so, yeah, I mean, like, listen, man, that's why I say, like, I'm going to handle it, not going to handle it in the court of YouTube.
Right.
Okay.
Let me ask you one more question. I get it, and I appreciate it. Let me ask you a question. Did you have sex with her before you? Did you have sex with her the day that?
You have your dates wrong. You have your dates wrong.
Okay, because I'm going by what you both said on YouTube. So let me know, when was that?
So let's just start. The initial interview happened in December of 2023.
But it wasn't uploaded until January. Wow. Okay.
Wasn't uploaded until January. She was actually messaging me like, hey, when are you gonna upload the video? I was like, I'm gonna take my time, whatever. Because I knew that I would get skewered for it. So I knew that it had the potential to be a good video, but I also knew that like people was gonna, hold me, just, completely barbecue me for it. So I already knew what I was in for, but I said, okay, let me go ahead and do it. I'm a big boy, I can handle it. And so that's when I posted the video, and that's when y'all saw it, January the 8th. Now, I don't know what date it was that I went live, but I went live in between when I posted it and, the date or whatever. And so there was actually 2 times that I went live. One time was when I got the hotel room for the lady and her 2 kids. And I should have kind of taken the red, I should have seen the red flag then, because during that live, Sonny called me and was like, kind of like, hey, what you doing? You my man, da-da-da-da-da. Now, we had talked about going on a date at that point, but I hadn't asked her out on a date at that point.
Had you already had sex with her?
No. Nope. We didn't have sex until that first date. So, the long and short of it is that after that live, I went live another time, and that's when I asked the audience, like, hey, do y'all think I should go on a date with Sonny? And everybody was like, yes. I was like, sure, let's do it. Now, based on the interaction that we had at our interview,